So hello everyone, my name's Danielle, I'm a writer and reader, I'm a student, and I'm here to talk about how my career plans have changed. Again. As I previously stated in my last video, which was my career plans have changed. I uploaded a video in the summer of 2023 that was really heartfelt and really meaningful. It was about how I came upon the decision of becoming a professor in the future. I talked about what pushed me onto that path. I reflected on my academic journey and those who have helped me alongside that journey. Upon reading 10 or so of the professor books, I was determined to achieve that goal at whatever cost. Or so I thought. Not whatever cost. Turns out there is a very real cost when it comes to getting a PhD, and that is money, which I do not have. I guess it's a misnomer. It's not necessarily the cost that worries me, it is the return on an investment. The PhD job market is famously oversaturated. It also doesn't help that this book famously slapped me in the face with the overwhelming reality of what it means to be a PhD candidate, let alone looking into getting into the job market as a PhD candidate. So this book is The Professor is In by Karen Kelsey, and she was an anthropology professor. So she was talking about how to write a competitive CV, how to make a resume, how to avoid mistakes and adjunct traps that sink many of your peers, and how to make the leap into non-academic work when the time is right. It's a bleak future as a PhD candidate, and this in combination with the catastrophically low ROI. It's not like I don't have familial support. I have a wonderful family that is very encouraging of any dream that I plan to set my mind on, and I'm very grateful for that. I had aunts and uncles quite kindly suggest to me that I stay on the path of academia. I understand their sentiment, and a lot of their sentiment was like, oh, you never know if you don't try. And I understand that because I do know that at the end of the day, you don't know if you don't try. However, truth be told, I don't want to try. Looking back on it, I don't want to be the one to like break boundaries and be the one to change the system. I get it. We need people to do that, and I could do that in my own way, but not in this way. I'm comforted that there are millions of young people of color going into academia and ready to change the system from the inside out. I'm very comforted there are millions of disabled students looking to get into academia and looking to transform the system. I am comforted by that. However, that does not need to be me, because I do not need to be doing all the change in the entire world by myself. I can't do all of that by myself. That's a ridiculous notion. Also, I recognize that I wasn't going into professorship because I love teaching. I was going into professorship for my love of writing and research. And honestly, you could do writing and research without being a professor. It is possible. You can do that. But I'm not going to say that I'll never teach in the future. Who knows? I would love to teach one day. That's what I'm currently thinking of right now, is that I might teach in the future once I'm like retired. Currently, as of right now, my career track does not involve teaching. I'm never going to say never. I would love to teach in the future, as I've said, as like a career change, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So I've been in a weird gray area of not really knowing what I'm going to do. And look, I hear y'all say, you already have a skill. Become a writer. And I love writing. I do. But I don't want it to be my sole income. And I don't think it ever will be my sole income, because I'm at a point in my life where I don't know if I'm going to continue with writing professionally or if I'm just going to do it for fun on the side. Looking at writing as a job has seriously depleted my love of writing. Now I only look at it as a career and not as a passion that I once had, which is really disappointing, honestly. Writing has since become something that I no longer look forward to. It has felt like a chore for the longest time, and that's disappointing. This year I took a year-long break from writing. By the end of it, maybe I will have fallen in love with writing again, but as of this point, I need a break from it. And if writing were my career, I wouldn't be able to take that privilege. I would have had to keep writing no matter what, and I understand that doing that is a privilege, and I want to be able to keep that. I don't think writing is ever going to be a job for me. Definitely never a full-time job. I can see it becoming a side hustle, but becoming a full-time job, no, never will. I want to retain my love of writing, and if that comes at whatever cost, and that means losing some money out on it, then that's fine of it. I no longer see the value in putting my passion as a career, because I do not dream of labor anymore. When I was like 17, you could see that I definitely dreamt of labor. Not anymore now, though. It's a whole different story. I think that just comes with time and age and wisdom. I used to love writing. I want to have that love of writing again, and I don't think that I would ever be able to happily have it as a job. I don't want to be a professor. I don't want to be a writer. what do I do? Then I just casually picked up a podcast that gave me a great sense of direction. I'm a clown. I know, honk honk. Give me a nose. I'm a clown for getting my career aspirations from a fictional horror podcast about two angsty gays. I know, okay? I know. You don't have to make fun of me in the comments. You probably will anyway. Angst, horror, and fantastic storytelling aside from that podcast, it was this podcast that introduced me to what an archivist even is. And it was what introduced me to what an archivist does. Although Jonathan Sims is a famously horrific archivist, drinking tea in the archives and all of that. And I don't know if Johnny Sims ever did research into what an archivist does, but anyway, point of the matter, introduced me to what an archivist is. It introduced me to the job title. And on TikTok, I ended up getting recommendations. I got on Magnets Archives Twitter, and then that sent me onto Real Archives Twitter. And the more I learned about real archivists and the real work that they do, the more that I realized that this seems like a great job for me. Like, I love organization. I'm very detail oriented. I can work independently or on a team, and I can still work in research as well in academia if I wanted to. Arguably, you get a livable wage and a soul-satisfying career in a relatively stress-free environment, and I can work independently and also with a team of people. I think what called me to becoming an archivist was ultimately the idea of preserving historical material to tell a story. I am a writer. I love storytelling. If my work continues to preserve the past and to serve the future, it would be an incredibly rewarding experience. So what really, really pushed me into choosing this career was the amount of registrars and archivists that I talked to, and then they all love their job. They have nothing but high praise to sing. And I realized that I wanted that to be me. So there's a high level of job satisfaction for archivists. Not only that, but the demand for archivists is going to be on the up and up by the time I graduate. So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do as of right now. If I knew that I would have become an archivist, quite honestly, I don't know if I would have majored in English. I definitely would not have majored in Spanish, because I thought I was going to be a linguist. So that's why I majored in Spanish. Turns out I hate linguistics. But anyway, I thought I was going to be a linguist, that's why I majored in Spanish, but I definitely would not have double majored in Spanish. I would have double majored in English and history. But, you know, c'est la vie. It is what it is. I picked up a minor in history instead. Did add a year onto my graduation. I'm not bitter. You are. Bitter. I hardly know her. But as of right now, I'm doing everything I can to become an archivist. I'm currently working in a library, looking to get another job in special collections on campus. I have a museum internship with the Getty, which is super exciting. I'm volunteering in the archives at a local museum. I've talked to archivists and librarians at my school and at my work where I volunteer at. You know, I'm doing everything I can to make this career a reality. And I think that everything that I have done outside of YouTube, like I have been making moves outside of YouTube to pursue this as a career. And I think that in combination with me putting it on YouTube has very much solidified my choices in this career path. And I'm very happy to be where I am as of right now. It took a long time to get to this point, and if you asked me when I was like 17 if I saw myself doing this, I would have said, oh no, I don't even know what an archivist does. Now I do know, and now I do know that it is something that I really look forward to. Am I nervous about it? Yes, of course I am. Because there's always doubt in my mind whether I'm going to get into this school or that school, or whether I'm going to get this job or that job. But I feel confident about this choice, a lot more than the professorship one, honestly. And I'm excited to see where the journey takes me. So if you want to see that journey, subscribe down below. I'm looking to post new videos every other Monday. You can click on my face to subscribe. And I am hoping to post more fun videos over the summer. But yes, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you again next Monday. Okay.